Nights are getting a bit chillier, so I'm just topping up my boiler. One's on wood pellets, sustainable fuel. It's just works like a normal oil boiler, but I have to put these bags in every few days. That's the chimney, that's the boiler. Just putting a little bit of liquid fertiliser on the oilseed rape that's a little bit behind, so give it a bit of a boost going into winter. Just sucking it up now through that into there. Just putting some liquid fert on this oilseed rape that's a bit small, and we've got volunteer wheat in it and weeds, but we've knocked them out. That's why they've gone yellow. But it's very backwards, this crop, because it was sown quite late and then it rained immediately after it was drilled, a lot of rain. So we're just hoping that it'll pull round. If not, we'll have to write it off and start again in the spring with something else. This is where it was flooded, and they put a drain in a few weeks ago. So that it's not flooded anymore. It's still a bit of a wet hole. Like, it wants the level building up a bit, to be fair, but we've still got some spare soil in the yard that we can bring up. So we'll lift this up so it's not a big hollow. This is the last field of barley we sown that I come looking at the other week, and it was just coming up nicely, but just a bit flooded in the gateway. So the rest of the field looks great apart from the gateway. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to put a bit of weed control on it now. I'll just show you from this angle because it looks stunning. It's there's it there, but this is the field that had grass weeds on it that we waited and then we drilled it. And it's nice and clean now, but we are just putting the protector on to make sure we don't get any more, because grass weeds are really hard to control in barley. Once they get away, you just can't, it's too closely related. So that's why we're putting this pre-emergent spray on now, and why we waited for a stale seed bed before we drilled it. So looking good. This is where the tide comes up high here, where it's a bit wet, but nothing we can do about that. So we've sprayed rape this morning, then barley, and now we've just been spraying this field of wheat. Just to stop the brome grasses growing through. I'm looking around the spray though, because just when I backed up before there was a bit of a clunking noise. I don't know what it was. Well, the wheel nuts seemed tight, all the steering rod seems to be fine. Can't find anything wrong, but I didn't like the noise. So we'll see if on the way home something falls off. I've just gone to turn onto the track and found it doesn't want to go into four-wheel steer, so the back axle's stay in the same shape and the front's turning. So that tells me now that this ram here, the end point has snapped. So I'll just have to drive back in two-wheel steer, which is fine, because it's how you're supposed to drive it anyway on the road. But if you look, they're still perfectly in line, because this has got a lock on. So this is the easiest fix, and I can get back to the yard. Safely back at the yard now. No hitches at all, because like I say, you are supposed to drive it in two-wheel steer on the road anyway. Apart from, I did forget when I turned in the last road ending that I was in two-wheel steer, so I didn't go wide enough, and I had to stop and back up to make the bend. So tomorrow's job is now fixing the track rod end. I think I've got a spare one in the workshop anyway, so I'll get that banged on, and then we can resume spraying again before the weather breaks again. So I'll see you all tomorrow.